Greetings, sacred colleagues. Today I want to share the incredible journey of how grassroots activism helped bring the Interstate Massage Compact, or IMPACT, to Arkansas. It all started in 2021 when I first heard about IMPACT, but my real involvement started in 2023 when I began cold calling legislators trying to get a bill introduced. At first, silence, but I didn't give up. Later that fall, I attended a legislative summit in DC, where I learned from experts about how to strategize for Arkansas. I helped build a movement, blogging, making videos like this, running surveys, and even creating a Facebook group to rally supporters. By 2025, Arkansas had successfully secured a House sponsor, but the fight was just getting started. Opposition eventually emerged, pushing a competing bill. But instead of backing down, we amped up our advocacy, empowering massage therapists all across Arkansas. And guess what? It worked. IMPACT passed in Arkansas, demonstrating that persistence and grassroots activism makes all the difference. The message being, if you're passionate about change, don't wait for someone else to lead. Get involved, raise your voice, and make an impact. There's a lot more to the story, and I know you want to hear about it. Let's keep the conversation going. Advocacy isn't always glamorous. When I first started pushing for Arkansas to enact the Interstate Massage Compact, I reached out to my state senator and representative, and got nothing. No response, no engagement, just silence. It was frustrating, but I didn't stop. I noticed that another compact for occupational therapists had been introduced. I reached out to that lawmaker too. Same result, no response. It felt like a dead end, but here's the lesson. Advocacy is about persistence. If one door doesn't open, find another one. It took over a year, but I eventually found help in finding legislators who would listen. So if you find yourself fighting for a cause, don't be discouraged by a few ignored emails or phone calls. Keep pushing. Your voice matters. In summer of 2023, Nevada became the first state to join IMPACT. Meanwhile, in Arkansas, no progress. Since our legislative sessions are limited, I thought I'd have to wait until 2025 to get involved. But then, an opportunity arose. That October, I was invited to the IMPACT Legislative Summit held in Washington, D.C. There, I met policy experts, state officials, and even representatives from the United States Department of Defense. I learned how to bust myths about the compact and prepare Arkansas for its next big steps. The lesson being, if you hit a roadblock, use the time to strategize, research, network, educate. Sometimes, the waiting period is your biggest opportunity to plan winning moves. Big changes don't happen alone. That's why, in the middle of 2024, I teamed up with two friends to launch a Facebook group, the Supporters of IMPACT. We created caps, shirts, and pins to spark conversation at massage therapy events. Every little moment helps spread awareness about IMPACT and break down misinformation. The takeaway? Grassroots advocacy is about fostering community. We didn't let the conventional boundaries of state lines keep us from building these essential connections. We use technology to our advantage in building our network of supporters. When people see others taking action, they get inspired to join in, and that's how a movement grows. The lesson learned is find your people, rally them, and don't ever underestimate the power of a well-placed button pin. Here's something they don't always highlight about advocacy. You might face pushback. I learned this firsthand in September of 2024, when I was removed from the elected position of Arkansas Chapter President of the AMTA. No official reason was given for my removal, but after several conversations with their leadership, it was pretty clear to me. My vocal support for IMPACT wasn't welcome. But you know what? I wouldn't change a thing. AMTA eventually shifted to a neutral stance, which was a win for all of us, and I got to keep fighting for what I believe in. If you stand for something, expect resistance. But the message is, don't back down. If your cause is worth fighting for, if your action is rooted in innovation and progress, and if you're engaged in selfless service for the benefit of all, keep going, even when the road gets bumpy. Fast forwarding to January of 2025, thanks to the help of a dear colleague, we were able to secure our sponsor, and our IMPACT bill had finally been filed. But just as we gained momentum, a competing Senate bill was introduced. This had the potential to derail everything. Instead of panicking, we mobilized. I researched committee assignments, compiled key legislator contacts, and used survey data to tailor our outreach. I got creative, sending legislators IMPACT-branded ink pens and luggage tags, along with a brief letter detailing some of the compact's great benefits. Some lawmakers loved it, others not so much. The lesson is, advocacy isn't just about passion. It takes strategy too. Knowing who to contact and when can make all the difference. After years of outreach, webinars, and personalized emails to lawmakers, the time had finally come. IMPACT's committee hearings and floor sessions. At the time, it felt like a lot of it was the game of hurry up and wait. But looking back, things moved pretty quickly. In Arkansas, we rallied our supporters, hosted a live Q&A session with our bill's lead sponsor, and made sure that legislators heard directly from massage therapists. After a contentious initial committee hearing in the House, we made improvements to our approach, and saw it all the way through a victory on the House floor. We stayed engaged during the Senate committee process, which continued to the day that our bill would face its final legislative hurdle, the Senate floor session. A preceding Senate debate left many senators fatigued, disengaged, and even out of their seats, or in some cases, outside of the Senate chamber altogether. As voting started and the roll call ballot was called, it looked pretty grim for us. And then we won. The Interstate Massage Compact passed, was returned to its originating chamber in the House, and would eventually go on to be signed by the Arkansas governor. This moment wasn't just a personal win for me. In fact, all of this work was always much bigger than myself. This was a win for every massage therapist that spoke up, for every client that stands to benefit from greater mobility and improved access to care, and for the future of the profession of massage therapy. Long after we are gone, those involved in this innovative step into the future for Arkansas, we can rest assured that we helped build a connection to future generations of massage therapists and establish better cooperation among states here. The takeaways are, never doubt that grassroots activism works. If you believe in something, never give up. And you never know just how much of a difference you